Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Simon and today we're going to be taking a look at some AEW wrestling figures. Now moving forward, I do want to show more wrestling items and figures on the channel. I'm going to show some out of my own personal collection and some of my belts. So there'll be figures from WWE, WCW, New Japan, all sorts of figures from what I've bought in the past. But I thought we'd start off with my AEW figure collection. Now I haven't bought every AEW figure that's available, and there's a reason for that which I'll go into at the end. But my first figure that I bought was Rhea from Series 3. Now when these first came out in Series 1, the scalpers got to them pretty quickly and were like marking up the price way too much, and I didn't bother buying any at the time because you couldn't get hold of them and I didn't want to pay scalpers prices. So Rhea came out and I bought it because it came with the AEW Women's Championship, and it comes with a couple of extra sets of hands, and she is a very highly detailed figure and it's a very good figure to have. Now I'm going to move on to the next one that I bought, which there was a bit of a jump. It went from Series 3 to Series 6 where I bought Chris Jericho, and he's got the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, or just the World Championship, doesn't say heavyweight on that one. And again, there's nice detail not only to the figure but to the championship belts as well. I do like these figures. I think they're a really nice one. The only thing that I always found was because they did it in the gold and black sort of colours, it did remind me quite a lot of the WWE Classic Superstars figures that used to come out from Jakks Pacific. Right, and I went from Series... Oh, I jumped one. Never mind. I'm going back a series now because it should have been Series 5. I can't count. Now, when Series 1 came out, the big figure that people would have wanted was Jon Moxley with the world title belt. And I couldn't get him at the time. And my wife wanted this one, and he was her favourite wrestler in AEW, and I found this on Smith's Toy Superstore's website, and I bought it and I hid it away for quite a long time, and that's the reason I got Chris Jericho, because she kept saying I want Jon Moxley and I really want to get it, can we get it? And I said no, I can't find it even though I already had it. So I bought Chris Jericho and said, oh, well, you only want it for the championship belt, and I was winding her up a bit. But I did get it, and I gave it to her for Christmas, so she was happy with that. Again, good details on the figure. And I'm going to say what I like about these figures and what I wish was slightly different, and what actually happens with them quite a lot now. So the next one's from the same group, and I've got Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. And both of them came with the tag team titles. They were part of SCU at the time. Now Frankie Kazarian, I do have another figure of him, and his figure that I've got from before was from TNA. So I do like Frankie Kazarian, and I do like the details that are in these belts. I think they're really good belts. The only thing I wish though is that they were more like the Jakks Pacific ones, where instead of having to push the lugs through a hole, they were ones that you could adjust with sliding in. I'll show you what I mean in another video. But they were easier to put on the Jakks Pacific ones. These are more like the ones you get with the modern Mattel figures. But I think these are good. And then moving on to another tag team, which is actually arguably the best tag team in the world. My favourite modern day tag team. We got Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler from FTR, and they came with the tag team title belts as well, and I do like the detail of them. I don't think this is a tag team that gets enough of its dues that they deserve. They should have been used better in WWE, and probably should be more up on the tag team division in AEW right now. Some people got their opinions on why they're not, but that's for you to debate in your own time. But a great looking figure, great tag team. And now the last one of these is actually from the new series, where these were the Unrivaled collection, we're now on to the Unmatched collection. I've got Darby Allin, and he came with the TNT title. Now I'm really glad I got this, because I wanted the TNT title to make up my collection of the men's belts. But this belt originally was only available on a Ringside Collectibles exclusive of Cody Rhodes. Now I live in the UK, which meant that figure would cost $35 it was at the time. Then I would have had to pay postage, which is always quite high from America, and then I would have had to pay import fees. So that figure would have been really expensive. So I was really glad that I found the TNT title on Darby Allin when I went shopping recently. So it's a nice figure, and the belts have really good details on them. I really do like these. Now, I'm going to say what I wish was different and what I think could be different with these. Now, a little problem is, when these first came out, the scalpers all came in, bought them and put the prices up on those first series of figures to really high amounts of money. And that sort of gave a false reading of how the figures were going to do in the shops. So ever since then, when these figures have come out, they've come out at £20 each, which for a collector, if there's 6 figures in a set, that's £120, which is a lot of money for a collector to keep throwing out every time there's a series. And as a parent, it's a lot of money to throw out on wrestlers that children are just going to smack around and play with. So one thing that I do think they should do, because what happens is these don't sell that well straight away. They get left on the shelf and then they get reduced in price. So they go from £20 to £15, 15 to 10, 10 to 7, and then Rhea over there, she's ended up at £5, and so does people like MGF and stuff like that. Now what they could do for the parents out there, they could do what WWE does and do a more basic figure at about £10 or a bit less, that the parents don't mind putting that much money into it. They buy them, they take them in for the children bash them about, they're happy as anything. And then keep these kind of ones for the more collectors and stuff. And the adults will buy them for the children for the belts, because obviously when the children are smacking around the wrestling figures, they want to put a championship belt on the wrestlers. So I think that's one thing they could do. The other thing is, AEW is only 3 years old, and they have a real big wealth of wrestlers out there, and they have repeated quite a lot. Like Darby Allin's been out twice, the Young Bucks have been out about 3 times, there's about 3 Kenny Omegas out there, and 2 Jerichos, 2 Moxleys. And when you do that, people don't want figures that look nearly the same over and over again. So they have got a wealth of talent out there. I'm hoping to get a Dan Housen figure one day, because I really like him, and there's a few others I like to get. So I'm hoping that we'll have more variety in wrestling figures coming out. But let me know what you think. Who's your favourite AEW figure? Do you collect the figures yourself? Do you want to see them a bit cheaper? And also, what do you think of these? Would you collect them? What's your favourite belt? And I'm hoping to see some of the Women's Championship, because they've renewed the Women's title belt, and also you've got that TBS title now. So I'm hoping to get some of that in the future. So let me know what you think. Also, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully I will be doing some more wrestling stuff very soon. I'll be showing my belts, my wrestling figure collection. Hopefully I'll find some other collectibles. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.